Good evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. It is Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, and we had a pretty good day out there today after the storms that we had yesterday. And often what happens after these storms, either later that day or the day after or even days following the storms, the National Weather Service will go out and survey the damage to determine whether or not the damage was caused by thunderstorm winds, straight line winds, or even the potential for tornadoes. And we are getting some confirmations in from those surveys. I know last night Danielle told you about the EF1 that was confirmed in Henry County. We got 2 additional confirmations here in our area, plus other confirmations, 2 more confirmations down into central Georgia. So as of right now, we are at a total of 5 confirmed tornadoes in the state from that system that came through during the late morning and early afternoon hours here on Monday. The latest confirmation that we got was this evening from the National Weather Service. They confirmed or surveyed the damage down in Fayette County, and they confirmed that it was a short-lived EF0 tornado with winds of about 70 miles an hour. It only had about a quarter of a mile track with that. It was just to the south of Fayetteville, pretty much right along Williamsburg Way. It did some damage there, some trees were down, but just a really short-lived track of that storm. And you know, 70 miles an hour, of course, is strong. That could do some damage, but it was a very low-rated EF0 tornado in Fayette County. The other one that was confirmed today was down in Coweta County. This is also an EF0, but winds there were at about 75 miles an hour. This had a little bit longer path. The tornado damage was really along about a 5-mile path there. And so it started to the east of Noonan, right there along 85. And we'll zoom in a little bit tighter here, and you can see some of those areas that it moved over just north of Lower Fayetteville Road. It pushed over into this direction, crossing over Sullivan Road into Thomas Crossroads. There was some damage there. Some structures were damaged, with trees mainly coming down in those spots. And then this takes us to the Henry County tornado. Danielle already told you about this yesterday, and we talked about it earlier on our newscast as well. But the Weather Service confirmed that after the storms were over yesterday, they were able to get a crew out pretty quickly there. It was an EF1 tornado with winds of about 90 miles an hour, about a 6.5 mile path. You can see here that it was just north of McDonough, crossing over 75 there. Are you familiar along 75 between here and Macon, the Flippin exit? Well, that's where this was here, right there near Flippin, moving along Campground Road and then to Brannan Road. And it was this part right here that I talked to Keith Stellman today, and I know you saw on 11 Alive Plus an interview that Chesley had earlier with Keith Stellman, but he was telling me earlier that really this part near Brannan Road is what made that an EF1, what elevated that to an EF1 tornado, is where most of that damage was, or the worst part of the damage was along that track. I've also been checking with the Weather Service. They'll be deciding tomorrow morning. We know that there are some other areas of damage that has not been surveyed yet, and they're going to decide tomorrow morning if they're going to be going out to any other damaged sites to do surveys. And what they do is they coordinate with the emergency managers, and the emergency managers help to kind of direct them to which areas to go to and whether or not they need to come out and do a survey or not. So it is possible they could schedule some other ones tomorrow. I've had a lot of questions, people asking me about Carroll County, because there was some pretty good damage in Carroll County. So I'm not sure if they'll go there and excuse me, and do a survey for the damage in parts of Carroll County. So let's talk about our weather, because we have some changes that are going to be coming our way as we go through the next couple of days here, and it is going to get hot, folks. I just want you to be prepared for the really warm weather that's going to be pushing in. We're talking about near record heat moving into our area. So here's what we're going to be watching over the next couple of days. It is going to be dry, we're thinking. On Wednesday, we're going to have just a 20% chance for an isolated shower to develop. I really think most of us are going to stay dry. We're just including a 20% chance because there could be just a couple of raindrops here and there, but nothing widespread at all. Now, I do think we will see more clouds than sun during the day tomorrow, especially in the morning hours. In the afternoon, I think we'll see more sunshine coming through, but it will be getting warmer. We're going to be getting up to around the middle 80s here during the day on Wednesday. Today we were in the upper 70s, so it's going to be warmer tomorrow than we were today. And then after that, we're talking upper 80s to finish up the week. Thursday, Friday, also into Saturday, upper 80s, and that could tie or break some records for the end of the week. And I'm going to break all that down for you coming up here in just a second too. Let's talk about the pollen count because, you know, we had good rain that came through on Monday. Even though we had the storms around, we had some good rain that came in, but it only brought the pollen count down a little bit. If you'll remember, Monday's count was at around 6,000, but a lot of that count was made before the heavier rain came in. And we were hoping that the count would be lower today, this morning's count, and it was lower, but not as much, not as low as a lot of people were hoping. I think a lot of people were hoping that the count would go down into the 100s, but it went down into the 4,000s at about 4,239. That is mainly from the tree pollens. The grass pollens are moderate, weeds are back up to high, and the mold is back up to extremely high. That might be because of some of the rain and the extra moisture that's coming in here. Now, we're dry out there right now. We were watching a few higher clouds, thin clouds that were moving in a little bit earlier. We don't really see any of that out there right now. I do think we'll see a few more clouds building in tonight. And then this is the next system that we're really going to keep an eye on for the next few days. This is going to be a big weather maker for folks out into the Midwest. As you can see, there is a tornado watch in effect for parts of northern Texas, throughout much of Oklahoma into southern Kansas, and then north of that from Kansas into Nebraska, there's a severe thunderstorm watch in effect. That system is slowly going to push to the east, but the severe part of this, at least for the next few days, is not going to make it to us at all. So tonight, you see that severe weather threat is mainly out into the Midwest. And there's even a level 3 enhanced risk. There's a large enhanced risk area there from Oklahoma up into parts of Kansas. South of that, it's a level 2 in Texas. And then below and surrounding that, it's a level 1 risk. But of course, we are fine here. Now, as I advance this to tomorrow, yes, the system does push a little bit to the east, and it actually gets stronger where those threat levels go up a little bit more. We're talking about a level 4 risk here right along the Mississippi River, going into Missouri, western Tennessee, southern parts of Missouri, as we mentioned there, into actually over to Arkansas, Missouri, and then into Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky and western Tennessee, and that level 4 risk. And then from that, it's a level 2 and level 1 risk. Now, that level 1 risk does try to clip northwest Georgia, but we're not overly concerned about that. I really think most of that severe weather is going to stay to the north and west of us. And then going into Thursday, you would think that would get a little bit closer to us, but the system is a slow mover, and we have more high pressure that's sitting over us, so it doesn't really make much of an inroad here closer to us. We'll see that level 2 risk covering a big area there from Texas all the way up into parts of West Virginia, and then again surrounding that is a level 1 risk. So we're actually going to be dry for the next couple of days here as those temperatures warm up. Our next best chance for rain isn't going to be coming in until we get to Sunday, and that could have some storms with it. Our high today made it up to the upper 70s at 78 degrees. Low this morning was 46. That was kind of a cool start this morning. And again, tomorrow we're going to be even warmer. No rain here, but we're keeping an eye on that deficit because we're about 2.5 inches below where we should be in rainfall for the year, even though we had some, a good kind of soaking rain with some of those heavier showers with the storms. It's still, since that was a fast mover, it wasn't a lot of rain that came in. So we're still going to be working on that deficit. Here's a look at our temperatures right now around metro Atlanta and North Georgia after getting up to those upper 70s. We're back at 73 now. Duluth is still holding on at 70. Most places, though, have fallen into the 60s so far. 63 in Peachtree City, 64 in Covington. We have 67 in Marietta, lower 60s up in far North Georgia, too. During the day, excuse me, on Wednesday, Notice those lower 60s. So this morning we were in the 40s to start. It's going to be milder early in the morning with temperatures around the lower 60s. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to see more clouds to start the day tomorrow. And that's going to keep these temperatures a little bit, mild to start, but not any big time jumps through the morning. We'll be around 64 at 9, then 70. I do think by noon and 1 o'clock we'll be into the mid 70s. And then a little more sunshine is going to break through in the afternoon hours. And that will help those temperatures to come up a little bit more. We're going to top off around 84, 85 degrees here, mid 80s for highs tomorrow afternoon. And remember, the averages are only in the 70s, so that's going to be well above the average. And then it is just going to get even warmer here heading into the end of the week. So here's a look at what we're going to be watching out there with the rain chances. A really low rain chance on Wednesday at 20%. And really, most of us are going to be dry. There might be just a couple of raindrops around. Then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're going to be dry. No rain for those days, but that's when we're going to see the really hot air around. And then it's going to be on Sunday when we see not only the rain chances coming up, but the storm chances will be coming up too. I really think we're going to have some thunderstorms around. At this point, we are not outlooked for any severe weather, but that could change over the next few days where we could see some of those stronger storms that could develop here. So let's walk you through the forecast track, and you can see what we're watching with that kind of northeasterly flow now. A few clouds will be in our area tonight and through the overnight hours. And I think they'll increase more overnight. And by morning, most of us will be waking up and driving into work with mostly cloudy skies. There could be some clouds kind of filtering through at times or breaking through some of those. You noticed some of the green that was showing up, especially north and east of the city. That's just a couple of those spots where we can see a few spotty lighter showers or maybe just a couple of raindrops around. But look at this southerly flow tomorrow, all right? That's reinforcing that warm air. It's going to be in the mid 80s tomorrow. And then with that sunshine in the afternoon, that's going to help those temperatures to climb. We start off Thursday still with a good coverage of clouds around, but in the afternoon, a lot of those clouds will break up again to give us more sunshine. And look at this, still more of that southerly flow pushing in here, bringing us even more of that warm air. And it's even going to bring the dew points up a little bit too. So not only, when we usually think of hot, humid conditions in the summertime when those dew points are in the 70s. Now, we're not going to be that humid out there or not have that much moisture in the air, but we at least may see the dew points going up into the 60s, and that's going to make it a little bit muggy. So it's not like a dry upper 80s. It's going to be getting kind of muggy out there and humid as well. Friday morning, a few clouds around, and then again in the afternoon, those clouds will break up and still that southerly flow. Friday's the day that we're feeling a little more confident with breaking a record high temperature. In fact, let's take a look at those records here. We're thinking that on Thursday, we will be tying a record, getting up to around 87 degrees. The forecast is for 87. The record is 87. Then on Friday, the forecast is 89. The record is lower at 85. So that's why we think it's going to be a little easier to break the record here on Friday. Then on Saturday, we're thinking we're going to be at 88, but the record for Saturday's date is 89. So we might just barely miss the record here for your Saturday afternoon. Then we watch the changes. After this really warm air, we're going to see a cold front move in on Sunday. And that front is going to have some rain with it and the potential for storms. So this is how the system is going to progress here. Again, Wednesday's just that low chance for a shower. Thursday, most areas dry again. On Friday, this model trying to show a little bit of moisture moving in, but we're not putting in any rain chances at all for Friday. We're going to be dry on Saturday too. But then we start looking out to the west. This is the system that's going to be pushing into our area on Sunday. And notice this is Sunday afternoon. That is the time frame when we're going to see this move in, and you often hear us talk about the heating of the day. Sunday's still going to be in the 80s, but this front looks like it's going to time out coming in the warmer part of the day. That could kind of fuel these showers to become a little bit stronger. And again, right now we don't have an outlook for severe weather on Sunday, but I'm just letting people know this is something we're going to be watching over the next few days to see how everything comes together as to whether or not we could potentially see a severe weather threat Sunday with some storms around. Monday, most of that pushes down to the south, and then more of that pushing to the south. But behind this system, temperatures are really going to start cooling off, and you'll see that here in the 7-day outlook where we have that really warm air on Wednesday with temperatures around 84, and then even warmer air coming in on Thursday and Friday with temperatures around 87 on Thursday and then going up to 89 Friday, 88 on Saturday with partly cloudy skies. And then here's that rain chance into Sunday, 60% chance for showers, some storms possible. The timing of that right now looks like it would be afternoon into the evening hours and then diminishing on Monday. But then look what happens to these temperatures after being near 90, where they're going to go down into the 60s for next week. So a lot of ups and downs, not only with the temperatures, but also with those rain chances. So keep it with us right here on 11 Alive and 11 Alive Plus. We'll keep you posted on these extended weather outlooks for any changes that are going to be moving our way.